Alrighty. We're here. How
69.
you doing?
69.
Episode 69. This is the World of Controversy Podcast, the podcast that gives you all forms of controversy.
69 episodes of World of Controversy Podcast. My name is Germ Griffin. We got Julian Rob on the track. Julian.
Yes. This is J-Rob the Great. And we have a nice, amazing, lovely, beautiful guest for you guys today.
Oh, yes.
Would our guests like to introduce themselves?
Oh, they asked me to send in a bio. I thought I was going to get an introduction, but...
Oh, my goodness.
Understand we're new to productions. It's fine. It's like, no. Anyway, hello, everyone. My name is Ivana Chambers Bennett. I go by ICB. I'm a lover. I'm a friend. I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. I'm a conqueror. And I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I love that. One day, you may have heard some of her in the back. We did an episode called Whitewashing of the Arts. So Ivana was in the studio for that. So definitely go back and check that episode out. Sadly, we can still hear you. But anyway, hey, Rob, what we talking about today? Help me out, Rob.
Well, what are we talking about? Is it harder for a Christian man to date? Or is it harder for a Christian woman to date?
Okay. We're talking Christian dating. Wow. I'm super excited. You know, this topic is one that I love so much. You know, I used to be dating before I met my girlfriend. So, yeah. It was great. Go ahead, ICB. Which one I say?
You go ahead.
Okay. All right. And it was hard. It was a struggle. And I was on apps, and then I wasn't on apps. And it was great. So, Christian dating, I've always said, should be a sitcom. It should be a show. It's like, you meet the right person, then, like, they got all these qualifications added to, like, these Christian, like, thoughts that people have. Like, oh, he has to be a leader. He has to take care of the family. He has to be Christian in this way and that way. It seems like the biggest one. Leader.
Yeah,
right.
The biggest one.
So this is something that the world isn't looking for as much as Christian women are. And in my personal opinion, when I came to the conclusion of this question, I was like, oh, for sure, men. It's harder for men to date in the Christian world. Mm-hmm. And I still agree with that. But my girlfriend actually gave me some thoughts about the ratio between men and women in the church. Okay. And there's just so many more women than men. So, in her opinion, it gotta be harder for the women to date because there's so little men compared to women. Now, help me out, Ron.
All right.
Because I do got some stats here. You know me.
Now, that's a good analysis right there. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. There's many factors that go into this, okay? Okay. I could go on one factor that would defend you, the woman here.
Okay.
See, he about to come at me because he always be like, oh, you always defend the women on.
What are you
don't even say on no podcast in life.
Okay, can I come?
Go ahead. You can come.
Go ahead.
I shouldn't. I told myself I wouldn't be like partially jumping into topics today. But I like. Okay, so they say in the church it's more women than there is men, but I feel like as a woman you should distinguish yourself. Like me personally, it don't matter the environment I go into. People are attracted to me. And it's not just my physical appearance, because I know I'm gorgeous, duh. But there's also the simple fact of, like, my energy speaks volumes, and I have a beautiful relationship with God.
Amen.
And I think that, like, men underestimate, like, if you have a woman of God in your life, then if she's connected to God, she can whisper in God's ear about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have not only a woman in front of you, but like our wombs connect us to the earth, but they also connect us to heaven and to the kingdom. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. But like, I think that As a woman, you should be the prize. People should be coming out of the framework to chase you, no matter what you look like. But if your energy speaks volumes and your energy makes people's soul glow and they make your face, light up when they see you, and energy, good energy, even irritates people's demons. So there's just a consciousness that you need to have, especially when you're connected to God, because He'll give you the discernment of how to be in a room. Now, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say right there.
Okay, all right, sounds good. It sounds like you had a rebuttal for me. now, and Rob, he had a rebuttal for me too. I'm trying to hear both of y'all.
Did I have a rebuttal?
All right, help me out. What? I got some stats with my stuff. Now, remind you, this is my whole point. I'm gonna all boil it down into the numbers with this, right? Now, peep game. This is from Gallup. So they do surveys, okay? Now, as of June 2022, this is after the pandemic, June 2022, 36% of women say they went to church last week, either in person or online, whereas 24% of men. Now, that seems like more women are going to church, right? But peep the game when we talk about dating apps. Now, this is really important to understand, right?
I'm sorry, can you say those stats again, numbers-wise?
Okay, so someone that recently went to church, there's about 36% of women say they went to church recently.
Or online?
Or online.
All right.
And 24% of men.
36, 24?
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. All right, now, let's talk about dating apps. Current or recent dating app users.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is someone's on a dating app or was recently on a dating app. 50% is men. 37% are women. Now, what that other percentage is, we can already assume that's a percentage that don't want to say neither male or female. But 50% of men on dating apps seem kind of high to me. In fact, Rob, if you do simple math, that seems like half of the people on dating apps are men.
Yeah.
But half of the people on dating apps are not women. Last time I checked, most people in 2024 are meeting people online, correct? So we got to really start looking at the numbers, and when it comes to dating, yes, there's women going to say, well, in the church, there's so many more women to men. It got to be easier for the men to find women. And that's partially true. But when we talk about dating, it takes a lot for a man to go out of his way to spit some game, to talk to a woman, or even text a woman on a dating app.
Now listen to what you just said.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
Now, is
takes
that
a lot.
not hard for the men out here?
It is hard. But I also want to say, I do understand it from a woman's point of view. Because dating is scary from a woman's point of view. You don't know who's a killer, who's a rapist. You really don't. Rob.
Okay, you got that.
Wait, I never went on a date with someone random and thought, well, actually, I did think, but be like, oh man, is this person a rapist? Is this person a killer? But women gotta almost think about that every time. ICB, am I wrong? Like,
I think there's signs of predators. Like, so I heard this one quote. It was like, all right, so a man, he'll either, he'll propose or he'll try to convince. If somebody's trying to convince you of something, like, hey, if they want to go out on Friday, and they're like, hey, can we go out on Friday? You give them yes or no. If you go, then, all right, he probably a regular person. But if they say, hey, can we go out on Friday, and you say no, and then you're like, well, why don't we just go out? Like, I'm not that man. I'm that ... Like, what you doing? You ain't got nothing going on. Like, you should just come with me. Please, 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 please. Them please niggas is predators. I promise you. Like, anybody who don't take, no for an answer in a healthy way has something up their sleeve because they want to get something from you.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I don't like nonchalant men. But also
wait,
in dating,
what?
Yeah, I don't do nonchalant men.
Well, what's wrong with the nonchalant men?
The same thing wrong with y'all touching the mics. Please stop touching the mics every time. Both of y'all. I see it. I'm going to be editing my behind off, man. Now, let's go back to the pickiness because she said she don't like nonchalant men. Rob.
Yeah. And what's wrong with nonchalant men?
Well, don't be asking what's wrong with nonchalant men.
Ask that.
You got to
ask. Are you mad? Are you... Oh.
I just feel like the way you do one thing is the way that you do everything. So if I was a nonchalant woman and I came in here without my hair done, I came in here looking like, if your woman never dressed up, all she was straight cat all day and night. What if she was nonchalant, like, man, he done had it like 3-4 times this week. I ain't even gonna wash. She about to just get this cat. You fine with that?
Yeah, all right. No. Not washing it.
I'm just saying nonchalant. I can see a nonchalant being like,
hold on, no.
I just came from the gym. She about to take this. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. That's not what this podcast is about.
Yo, nonchalant is
but I'm
not
just
like
saying,
that.
nonchalant is like, what do you mean you're nonchalant? Like, what do you mean you don't want to put effort in this? You're a man. This is life. Like, y'all haven't seen John Henry? Like, John Henry, like, that mean. I was taught effort.
Is that what you mean by nonchalant? Or are you talking about when you're in an argument he's not caring?
All together. Oh, what?
That's
not
nonchalant.
caring.
That's nonchalant.
That is nonchalant too.
Be like, oh,
you don't want
okay.
me if you don't care.
That's not true.
I don't.
That's not true.
If I feel not wanted, I'm gonna go somewhere I'm wanted.
Oh, so you saying you're cheating?
I didn't say I was cheating, but I'm not.
That's kind of basically the line.
You don't take life as serious as me. Like I'm on a trajectory. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, but I'm on a trajectory. I have things that are going on in my life, and I have a set vision for myself. And part of that is romance and love and ecstasy and just pouring into each other. So if you want to be nonchalant, I just feel like, all right, so I just don't trust. I don't trust it. Don't make me feel secure.
Wait.
And it's given emotionally undeveloped.
Nonchalant, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you're getting a little argument, whatever, and he's being nonchalant, right? He does care.
Okay.
He does care. Sometimes the man cannot show it all the time because when he does show it, a lot of times, y'all play him.
Yeah, well, you're not with the right woman.
Not with the right woman?
You know what I'm saying?
Rob hitting on something a little bit. I don't know if I would use that wording, but I know what you mean, Rob.
Absolutely.
I do know what you mean, though. We're the Controversy Podcast, episode 69, episode
This is a Christian episode, you guys.
Nice. All right. Okay, so I got a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Where does economics play in the whole Christian dating scene?
Wait, before you move forward, when you talk about in the church, right? You talk about the ratio of men and women to the church. You have to remember that a lot of the men, because I'm a local preacher, okay? So I'm in the church community, okay? You have to remember that a lot of the men that's in the church are old as ever, right? They're already married, so they're coming with their wives. So it might be like 2 or 3 young guys at church. If I go to a church conference, it's like 2 or 3 young guys, and I'm looking at them. You know what I'm saying? I'm scoping the scene. Y'all talk about me?
No, ICB. Listen, there's so much going on this podcast set.
We're live.
We're live. We're reading comments.
Right,
WOC_pod.
Wait.
ICB, continue.
All right,
You're saying that there's a lot of old heads.
older men in the church, and we have to remember as a black community that there has just been a insanely mass, I guess, like, you know, all of our boys and young men, a lot of them are, you know, incarcerated. A lot of them, their faith is not necessarily Christian. Like, I know a lot of young men that I know are Muslim. So it's like, how are we looking at, you know, the way that people are relating to God from a perspective of, like, population? When I talk about population, we're talking about younger people who are actually single and able to marry. And I don't see that a lot in the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? But they also don't make fried chicken every Sunday. Like,
yeah.
So church used to really throw it down. So.
Hey. Okay. Now, I like how you hit on. There's not a lot of young people in the church no more.
That's true.
Young people specifically have it hardest when it comes to the dating.
I think.
Go
ahead.
Christian world.
What were you saying? Why?
Why? Because as being a true Christian believer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means we are set apart from this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're in the world, but we're not of the world,
Okay.
right? So we got specific guidelines we have to follow biblically.
Okay.
Meaning, no sex before marriage,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people fornicate,
Okay.
right?
I have an idea on that too. Hopefully we can talk about it.
Well, we'll get back to that.
Take
But
note.
yeah,
Marriage.
so we got the fornication. We got waiting for marriage.
Thank you.
We got courting. Well, that's all I said in the same thing, right? Okay, so waiting for marriage, but also being two biblical like people, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to hold each other up to a more biblical standard.
Damn. Yeah.
Oh.
Go ahead. No cursing. Oh, sorry.
What? Yeah. So two biblical people trying to hold each other to a more biblical standard, right? And we in this world where a lot of people don't want to follow that, right?
Okay.
So you get more into leading into temptation, right? You know, and we are going to be tempted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But God said He gives us a way out from temptation.
Yeah.
That's why the
He
strong.
makes a way of escape.
Yep. That's why the strong that endures. We get the benefits.
Okay. Rob.
So what's your point? Why you saying?
Yeah. What is your point?
What was that? Why you sell it?
What you mean why I sell it? I was just saying like the young people have it harder. Old people already experienced. Yeah, well, I can't.
You should have.
All right.
Anyway.
Old people, most time during old people they already experienced all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I just said, and they already like, okay, well, if you're old and single, 9 times out of 10 you would continue to be old and single, or you just.
Oh, stop, man. You ain't right, man. You're not right. What, the old heads ain't trying to find love? The old women, the church
I'm playing, brother. No, old and single, they are looking for love, but they're old, single, and Christian. You'll find somebody in the church that will represent you.
You'll find someone in the church.
Yup.
You said the young people, they can't find no one in the church.
I think like older people are very set in their ways. You're not really willing to do the emotional work to really be in a relationship.
Dang.
Now that's something to think about. Wow.
Right, and I think when it comes to marriage,
Yo.
y'all listening?
Yeah, we're listening.
When it comes to marriage, I think like, all right, people are fornicating, but like our idea of marriage is very westernized, and it really comes down to the ring on the finger, and or like getting married at a chapel.
Yes.
When honestly, God creates a covenant. God tells you who's your husband. God could even marry you in the spirit to someone.
Wait a minute.
So I just.
Oh wait, are we talking about?
But wait, I think like overall though, that comes with time, right? So we meet people, we have these connections with them, and like you know, when you have the want to have sex with someone, that is like you wanting to become one with them, right? Wanting for your spirits to intertwine. But the thing about it is, if you don't give yourselves time for your souls to intertwine, and you just intertwine your flesh, the flesh is weak, and the flesh will eventually lose that foundation because it'll see something else that it's attracted to, right?
That's
but
right.
when your soul is intertwined with someone, and God has like ordained it and God was like, yo, both y'all souls is on the same frequency. I bless this marriage. He will give it provision. He will put you in the right room with that person. He will, even if y'all miles apart, y'all will be able to communicate, you know? So
Amen.
I think that we should really start waiting on God. You know, in Love Jones, what's his name? Yeah, what's the guy named from Love Jones?
I don't know.
I'm so sorry, I'm disrespecting you. You a legend right now. Levon's Tate. He says that romance, true romance, is from the moment that you like see someone, fall in love with them, to when you finally have sex with them. It's the gap in between that. And I don't know about y'all, but the moments when I met like guys and I really liked them, the time that was spent just totally like obsessing, or you shouldn't fantasize. They say fantasy is for the senseless, but they say like when I met somebody, like that time between us like knowing each other, liking each other, and having sex was just so good, and it was the best person. It was so nice. And then as soon as guys can have sex with you, their true colors start showing, or as soon as, you know, I don't know, I'm not villainizing men because I love men and I think we should pour into them wholeheartedly all the time. I think that's well, that's actually men's job. Like they say that a man's, you know, penis is like a light stick and he has light force within him. So whatever he implants into his woman is felt. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see a mean woman, 9 times out of 10 she is having relations with a mean man. And he's putting that energy inside of her. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have an energy frequency that they carry onto their men, but it's just way easier for a man energetically to impregnate a woman.
All right. Let's read some comments. Rob.
Oh, you want me to read
I'm
some
scared of these
comments?
comments, y'all.
Yo, well, let's go to your boy art team.
Tag team.
Underscore
team.
music.
Tag team.
All right.
Let's go.
He went back from when you was talking about having the right woman.
Okay.
He said the right woman ain't got nothing to do with it. Then he was like, read my comment. Well, we was talking about, you know, the man being nonchalant and whatnot, being played. Oh, he did ask what church you go to. And how old are you?
A lady never tells, and I go to Hoyt Memorial CME Church in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, when it comes to the emotions, I'm sorry, stop touching the mic. When it comes to the emotions, like, I think that, like, ideally in my relationship, of course I want my man to be a man's man, but I also want us to be boy and girl, right? I want us to play and have good times together. So with that being said, you know, he should be able to be vulnerable. Like, if he stump his toe, like, I don't want you to have a full-blown privilege, but, like, if you shed a tear, I'm going to laugh at you, and I'm going to make sure you're okay. Period.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You're good.
You know,
Okay.
cry for me, baby. Tell me how much you love me.
Well, man, I'm going to take this
Okay,
one.
go ahead, Rob.
All right. Now, we talking about
Sorry.
building a healthy Christian relationship,
Yes.
right? All right. Now, when we talk about men and women, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say there is one point that I will give to the females on this, of why it's harder for them. All right? And I am going to have to give some credit to somebody else, okay? This ain't my words, okay? So, to my lovely Aunt Pam, yeah, this is your credit you getting. Okay, but basically saying it is harder for women because us men, we have to lead. We are the leaders. They follow after us.
Right.
So if they don't have a good godly leader and they're following after, it's going to be hard for them to, like, get into that, like, you know, Christian relationship.
Right. Right.
So that's why I talk about letting God marry you and giving it time and not jumping in the bed with somebody and not falling subdued to your flesh. If God marries you, if God puts his hand on a covenant, then you're okay. You know what I'm saying?
Then you're okay.
Now look, sometimes the man might not be ready. The woman might not be ready, you know. But like relationships to the very end, marriages expose the darkness inside of you, right? So you have someone who loves you. They're bringing this light towards you. All of your triggers from your childhood, all of your triggers from your teenage years, all of your triggers all together is going to be magnified, highlighted. Can you receive this love? Can you, love me right, etc. So when you let God marry you and he deems a man worthy of you, then y'all both become at his throne, and you should feel fine bowing behind your husband. Honestly, and I'm throwing this out there, and I would love to hear your opinion, but like I feel like when I get married, like I want my husband, and I hope it's not too much pressure, so I got the guys here to like build in, but like ideally, I want my husband to become my new God, right? So the same way I go to God for everything, and I'm like, God, like I'm having a day, or I need this, or I need that, I want to be able to go to my husband, and then my husband goes to God, right? And that's terrifying, okay? Let me go to my husband, he dubbed me. Like I'm not important. I'm going to start crying because it's like, well, we're in a marriage, and I love you, and I'm putting all my hopes and my dreams and everything that I have inside of you, and you're acting like you're not worthy of standing or sitting in this position, and or maybe you're just, like I said, not ready. But I really think that God is the one, even if he like might covet you in the spirit, he'll also give you provision to like be with that person physically, and it'll be just right.
Right.
So what do you guys think though about like you becoming your woman's new God in marriage? Essentially,
I don't know about being her God, but I think what you're trying to get to is being the intercessor.
Okay.
Because you said you want to tell him things, and he goes and prays to God for you, right?
Oh, you putting words in my mouth. You're asking me a direct question.
Yeah.
Intercessor. I don't know. Maybe I have a wrong idea about marriage, but like, I am a grown woman, but like with my husband, I really want to be like dependent on him in totality, like emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Like I want him to shepherd me.
It's partially true, partially biblical. So if we look at the head of the wife is the husband, and you also gotta look at how what was it? Abraham's wife called him Lord, right, Rob?
Yeah. But Lord can also be like used as kings too.
Yeah. I wouldn't go as far as say God, but I partially get what you're saying, ICB. And hey, back in the day, it was more so like the woman was literally depending on the man, even economically. So, but maybe we could talk about economics in the second half. Rob, let's close it with the first half. Yep.
All right, it's time for us to take a break, a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll stay live on Instagram.
We're here. Again. We're back. It's like, no, you're the one that's supposed to say we're back. We're black. We're black. We're black. Black in the mix. Wasn't that you?
Yeah. I said it. All right.
ICB. We got ICB on the track. Persevere. Listen, if y'all have not listened to this girl, if you have not listened to her podcast, listen to the podcast. She's a fellow rec member, I guess, and she always got a word. If there's anything you would like to promote on the show, go ahead.
Alright, y'all, so I hope everybody got a piece of paper and a pen to write this down. It's going to take about 10 minutes. Don't worry.
10 seconds.
It's like, no, but what's up, y'all? It's your girl, ICB. I have a podcast out right now called ICanB Monday, where we talk about everything we could be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Back again on Monday. I currently have a series on Instagram right now called Tips from a Perseverer, where I give tips on how to persevere throughout life every Tuesday and Thursday. And I'm an all-around, superwoman. So just get with me. I've been through a lot, but I've persevered through it. I felt my light in the darkness, and honestly, all I try to do is, heal other people through my healing. And I hope that it's enough for y'all, because it's enough for God. It's like, no, thank you. But please, you can follow me on Instagram at the ICB. That is the with an extra E, ICB. THE extra E ICB, and then that's the same on YouTube. My podcast is on YouTube, and I post every Monday for ICanB Monday. We are live, midnight on a Sunday, ready for y'all to start y'all week.
Awesome.
This is a great episode. This is Word of Controversy Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, WC_podcast. Follow us on Twitter, WC_pod. Follow us on YouTube, WC_pod. Follow us on Facebook, Word of Controversy Podcast. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, anywhere you can find a podcast. Word of Controversy Podcast, Word of Controversy Podcast. All right, dancing.
Queen, get it right. Don't confuse yourself.
I was gonna say dancing machine, but okay.
Empress. Goddess. Glorious one.
Whatever. Alright, that's it for you guys. We'll see you later. Hey, Pretty People Rules, you just joined us. I gave you a shout out too in this episode. So make sure you go back and watch it. But yeah, that'd be it for us. Goodbye.
Thank you.